Okay, we are talking today about how to best measure your results, because this is a tricky one. For a lot of people, they get in trouble with this one because they have this foggy idea of what good looks like and what success looks like. Now, as a coach and a strength coach, someone who's actually looking for my clients to get a physiological adaptation that they're going to be happy with. That's going to be lasting, it's going to be sustainable, it's going to be healthy for the individual, and it's going to make them stronger. It's going to make them more conditioned and fitter and actually promote long-term strength and long-term involvement in this health and fitness space. So for me, what I'm looking for is much different than what the majority is looking for, and the majority, what they look for, gets them in trouble. So off the bat, we're going to highlight the three. We're going to go around 5, but the 3 main things I want to look for. Then the bottom 2 that still have value, but they should be at the bottom of how we view results and how we actually measure results. So initially, I want you guys to focus on strength. If your body is getting stronger, if you're moving more weight, if you're seeing lifts like the bench press, the deadlift, the squat, the overhead press, the barbell row, your chin-ups and pull-ups, if they're getting stronger, that's a great sign. It's an amazing sign. Those are the keys of successful measurement, right? I had a tweet maybe a year ago that said if somebody could, at the end of the year or in a couple years, get up to 5 to 10 to 15 strict pull-ups, depending on your skill level, be able to farmer carry double their body weight, be able to back squat around 2 times their body weight, and deadlift close to 2 times their body weight. And I also had run, a 25-minute 5K. That right there would guarantee show me someone who is in incredible condition and shape. So what that indicates is the results of strength and performance. So all those measurements I had nothing to do with body composition, had nothing to do with the scale, had nothing to do with what you're eating, what you're not eating. It had to do with you getting stronger. And if you show me a person that had all those measurements knocked off, I guarantee you I'm going to show you someone who's in incredible shape. They're going to look great. They are going to feel great. They're going to have lots of energy, and they're going to perform at a very high level. So an amazing general kind of map of things to pursue, but that just kind of gives you an idea of if we just chase getting stronger at the big lifts, the main multi-joint movements and exercises, we're going to have a really good physique, and chances are health is going to follow greatly as well, because to get stronger, you need to consume more protein. You need to have fast recovery, and you need to build lean tissue and support the growth process. You're probably gonna have a really successful and balanced hormonal profile. To get stronger, you need high levels of balanced testosterone. You need growth hormone running optimally. You need to make sure you're managing your stress and getting quality sleep. So many things are in tune with that. And you're also going to need a decent amount of caloric intake, right? So if you're eating really low and you're eating, let's just say you've had adaptive thermogenesis occur and you're eating at like 1,500 calories and nothing's really happening on the scale, or your body composition is not improving, well, one of the best things we can do is kind of reverse you out of that, and chances are to get stronger, we're gonna have to get you to eat more nutrient-dense, calorie-dense foods to make sure we're at a really healthy spot where energy's high, hormones are good, and our body just feels optimal. So that's the main one. Number 2, take a look at your biofeedback, okay? What I mean by biofeedback is the biological feedback your body is showing you. It's the signals that are irradiating from you every single day. What's your energy levels like? What are your cravings like? What's your sleep like? What's your libido like? What's your mood like? What's your strength and performance like? What's your motivation, drive, ambition like? Focus like? Creativity, engagement, productivity? Those are biofeedback markers. Those are the things we really want to look for. If all those things are roaring and you're doing really well in life, and you're noticing that your sleep's on point, you're feeling energized, you don't need a massive amount of stimulants to kind of get going necessarily throughout the day. That's a different conversation in terms of everyone likes a cup of coffee in the morning. That's okay, but throughout the day you're not hitting those major walls. You have motivation, you're self-disciplined, you're structured, you're responsible. Really good indicators. You're performing well at work, you're performing well in the bedroom, you're performing well in the gym. Great. You're able to build muscle mass. That's a good sign. Hormones are probably working with you. You have high, consistent energy levels. You're at a relative mood throughout the day. You don't have these crazy ups and these crazy downs. So again, that's a really good sign that things are working well for you. You're not craving really crappy food all day long. Research shows that really poor sleep is connected to higher cravings. So you can just imagine if we had the biofeedback of really poor sleep, or not feeling all that energized, and you'd have these massive cravings that hit you throughout the day. Well, that's some feedback that you're being given that, hey, we should probably look at improving our sleep quality and our stress management so to make sure that we don't have those huge highs throughout the day where we're craving processed, rather palatable foods. Number 3, performance. We kind of went over that within the biofeedback section and the strength section. But performance as a whole, how are you performing in life? Do you feel like things are progressing? Are you moving forward? Are you seeing numbers go up in the gym? Are you getting faster, jumping higher? Are you able to move and have a better, improved firing rate when you're working out? Are you able to connect to your muscles more effectively? Is your mobility improving? Stability improving? Balance? Connection to what you're doing from one movement to the next? There's so many little things to focus on when we talk about performance. And then also outside of the gym, like we talked about performance in the bedroom, performance in the boardroom, performance in terms of having a quality life and having overall well-being, right? Like, how does your life rank in terms of performance, right? Are you someone who's a high performer, high achiever? Or are you someone who's dragging their ass throughout the day just to get by, and you're not very motivated and you're not very ambitious towards passions and goals and things that actually give you a lot of stimulation, positive stimulation, lasting stimulation? How are those markers, right? If you're noticing that performance is really sluggish, you're not feeling all that well, chances are we should try to switch some things up, obviously, right? That's not going to enhance your quality of life. So we want to make sure that we're seeing performance go up. It's a great sign that what we're doing in the gym is working, right? If we're not getting a lot stronger in the gym, it's time to switch things up. It's time to add in a new stimulus, a new stress, a new demand, or rectify current stresses and current lifestyle choices that are actually getting in the way of us performing at a high level. So we can take it two ways there, switching things up or addressing current issues that are affecting high level performance standards. And finally, we can look at the last two, measurements and body composition. Now, measurements are key. This is one of those tangible, objective measures, which is great, right? Because if my shoulders are getting bigger, for example, or I'm getting a lot stronger, but my weight's not moving anywhere, maybe I gained a pound, let's just say, but my waist is starting to shrink, great sign. Body fat percentage going down, we're getting stronger, scale stays the same or goes up a pound. Who cares? Measurements are showing that, hey, we're losing body fat around those trouble spot areas like the waist and the hips, and we're actually gaining muscle mass in, say, the arms, the glutes, the shoulders, the legs, depending on what your goal is. That's a great sign that things are working. If you have more of that kind of like hourglass, right, where your body goes out and then it kind of comes in and then goes back out with a strong pair of glutes and hips, phenomenal. Now, obviously, everybody's goals are a little bit different, but those are when those measurements can be really on point in terms of proper success and progression. I had a client where things were moving really well for her, right? She was getting a lot stronger in the gym. Number one thing we talked about, performance was going up. She was actually seeing her butt get bigger, so getting more sculpted, more rounded, more toned, more defined, more muscular, pushing more weight. Obviously, that's going to equate to a more defined, sculpted look to the body. And the waist measurements were going down. So the scale, I think she went up 2 pounds, went from like 148 to 150. Her body was looking better. She was performing better, moving more weight. She was seeing the muscles that she wanted to grow expand, and she was seeing those areas that she wanted to shrink actually get smaller. Talk about a win-win right there. All things in alignment, great way to measure progression and results. And then finally, the scale. It's the last one for a reason, and this is done in order, right? We don't want to throw the scale out because the scale can actually give us some real tangible feedback. However, we don't want to rely on the scale because the scale can lie to us. Think about it. If I have an individual over a 10 month or 12 month program, and say we really want to put on 5 to 10 pounds of muscle for this individual. And over the course of the year, they start at 130 pounds. And we ended up putting on that 10 pounds of lean muscle tissue. Phenomenal. Now imagine we actually reduced 10 pounds of body fat. A massive exchange for muscle and fat right there. But guess what would happen on the scale? 10 pounds of muscle up, 10 pounds of body fat off. She would actually be right in line with 130 pounds 12 months later. If we're measuring our success and progress on purely the scale, or the scale as a first thing, she would think, or he would think, 130 pounds, hopefully it's a female, she would think that she failed, that she didn't get her result, didn't get her goal. But at the end of the day, she literally massively changed her body fat percentage, right? She dramatically improved her health markers. She got a lot stronger, put on a lot of protective lean muscle tissue, and got rid of a lot of unwanted body fat. That's a huge win. If I did that in a year with a client, I would be a god to them, right? They would have an incredible transformation. Great for them, great for me. So that's when the scale can kind of lie. With that being said, we still want to make sure we're seeing the numbers kind of go up or down depending on what our goal is. If I'm looking for someone to put on 10 pounds of muscle within a year, and I'm not all that concerned with her or him losing body fat based on maybe they're a hard gainer, we really want to see the scale go up a little bit. I want to see 10 pounds of muscle on this person to 15 pounds of muscle, and I really don't care if we add a couple pounds of body fat, because guess what? They could use it, and they kind of need to eat a lot more food in order to get to our goal, and then we can play around with what we want to do after that. There, I need to see the scale go up. I don't want that person to be at 130 pounds or 170 pound male at the end of the year, because look, I'm really focused on putting muscle on this person. I need to see the scale go up. When I was in high school and trying to put on a weight, it was a struggle. 150 pound kid, working. At that point, I wasn't concerned about body fat percentage or getting my body fat down. I was like, I need to put on muscle. I need to get a lot stronger. I need to build my body up. So all I was concerned about was eating clean, roughly clean calories, and getting my number on the scale to go up, because me at 150 pounds trying to tackle 200 pound running backs in university, not ideal. Me at 175, or 180 pounds trying to tackle those running backs, I'm a lot more dense, a lot more resilient to those collisions. I'm gonna be a more effective player and athlete. So that's an example where we actually want to see the scale go up. And then we have those cases where we want to see the scale go down. I might have an obese or overweight client I'm working with, and as much as we don't want to measure our success on the scale, and my first indicators are strength, looking at measurements, looking at performance, looking at our biofeedback, at the end of the year, I want to see the scale go down. I don't want to see a 300 pound person not make any improvements on the scale, obviously, because they have more excess fat and weight to lose. I should be seeing some healthy responses based on our nutrition and based on what we're doing in the gym. But again, I'm still looking at making sure those first 4 results and measurements are 100% nurtured, and then from there we'll make sure the scale's moving. But for some people, they've done a lot of damage to their metabolism, and we almost got to work our way up a little bit. We might actually gain a few pounds off the bat because we're looking to put on some more muscle. We're trying to get them to eat a more healthy array of clean, nutrient-dense calories before we get into a position where we're looking to cut or reduce. So the scale can be a bit of an indicator of success. It can be actually a really good indicator of success, but not for every individual. And there's a really tough relationship people have with the scale, where they get obsessed with their success purely based on the scale, and they take that pyramid and they go upside down with it, and scale becomes the number one thing. determining how successful they are. So we really want to make sure we're more mindful of that. A lot of people have issues determining their success without the scale. If that's you, if your whole being is based around what the number says on the scale, you have a really hard time not looking at the scale, throw it out, get rid of the scale, focus on the first 4 measurements that we talked about today, and then we can reintroduce the scale and we can show the body fat percentage, we can show the body composition, we can see the numbers go up on the scale, in the gym, and we're gonna have a really healthy, amazing transformation. So that's the order that I would take it in, 100%. That's the best way to manage our results and keep tabs on our results. And that's one thing I preach with the SFR community. That's the strong, fit, and resilient training program that I offer for my clientele, is that we're gonna really focus. I'm gonna keep hammering this point across. We're gonna focus on those first 4 measurements of success, and then we can use the scale just to fine tune a few things. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like always, be sure to subscribe below. You can comment on, hey, how do you do with measurements? What are some things you struggle with? What are some things that you took from this video that are actually gonna add some value? Be sure to like it as well, and share if you want to get this insight into more people and help them restructure how they approach their health, fitness, and performance journey. Take care, guys.